Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is RCB News, and I am Ryan Bowling. I want to get right down to the news at hand. I'm going to be reading you guys an article from Anthony Brown Logan in reference to a father who was arrested because he had became unmanageable, for lack of a better word, due to the fact that his daughter had been raped by a transgender teenager in the bathroom. So I'm going to read this article, and then I'm going to give you guys, after I'm finished reading this article, I'm going to give you guys my opinion based on my studies and my readings. Okay. And it says, the title of this article is Father Justifiably Arrested at Virginia School Board Meeting. It says, a London County, Virginia father was arrested back on June 22nd at a school board meeting in a now viral video. The man was tackled by several police officers while his wife pled their case to anyone who would listen. Earlier in the year, their 12-year-old daughter was sexually assaulted in a bathroom at her school. The perpetrator was a fellow student who identified as transgender. This identification allowed the XY male to use the same restroom facilities with her without consequence. Unfortunately, this created the perfect environment for the boy's criminal behavior to happen. The girl physically survived the attack, but is mentally struggling to get back to normal. The boy, on the other hand, was finally arrested after he was allowed to remain in the school and assault another girl. And I'm going to read, that's all I'm going to read on that. Excuse me. You guys can go to the description box below and read the entirety of that article. But as I said before in the previous video, I'm going to give a disclaimer. Once again, I am in no way against anyone who wants to choose to be that way, who wants to choose a lifestyle. I'm in no way attacking your free will to choose to be the way you want to be. So that's a disclaimer right up front. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it. This is a planned attack. The elites and the people in power want absolute control, but how they're trying to get this control is through confusing the masses of people. They're after the millions of people in this country. That's why they keep pushing the same agenda, the politicians, the people in power, the billionaires. That's why they keep not all the billionaires, but a lot of these people that have a far leftist mentality. That's why they keep pushing this transgenderism and pushing all this rhetoric. They're pushing it because even though they know that it's not right, even though they know that it doesn't make sense, what they're trying to do is to get your subconscious to accept it as normal. Adolf Hitler said this in his book, Mein Kampf. He said, if you keep telling a big lie long enough, people will eventually believe it. Why will they eventually believe it? Because you keep repeating it over and over and over and over again. People are going to start thinking maybe there's some truth to what you're saying. On a conscious level, they know that what you're saying is not true. Going back to the transgender situation, in this situation with this little boy, this little girl, most people in America know on a conscious level that transgenderism is not natural. They know that something's wrong with that worldview. But when you start, in my opinion, accepting it as normal, you're falling right into the plan of those who are trying to destroy this country. This is a planned attack. This situation in the schools, they should have been put that out. You can read the rest of that article, but this shouldn't even be something, in my opinion, this shouldn't even be something worth debating. Why are we debating about a teenage boy who sees himself as a transgender, goes into a bathroom and rapes a girl? Why are we arguing about that? And this father, I watched the video, And the father getting upset, I could understand it. And I agree with what Anthony Brown Logan said. I could understand exactly how he felt. I probably would have felt the same way. My innocent daughter being raped by someone. And then the article says they let him, and he raped someone else. This is all planned. The purpose is to completely dismantle this country in order to rebuild it. See, you can't rebuild a country until you first destroyed it first, until you first destroyed the moral fabric of the country. You can't rebuild it. You got to get rid of the moral standards that America was founded on. You got to get rid of the idea of right and wrong. You got to make it confusing to people, where people don't know what's right and wrong anymore. They're like, I don't know what's right and wrong anymore. That's why I personally believe, based on my studies, that so many people are accepting this lifestyle, because they've been brainwashed, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, they've been brainwashed into believing this as normal. Now, you may say this is kind of a downer, excuse me, but I don't think so. The more we expose what the far left is doing, the more we give other people opportunities to see. If we are hush-hush about stuff like this, and we don't never say anything because the far left and the liberal have everything. They have the media, they have everything, they have all the news shows, the movies. It's everywhere. If we get discouraged by their proliferation of all these institutions and we allow that to happen, then we will stop. We will stop exposing what they're doing. And if we stop exposing what they're doing, it's going to only grow worse and worse and worse and worse. Just because it looked bad don't mean we shouldn't say anything about it. I'm not trying to preach, but I want to say something here. There's a scripture in the Bible, in the book of Ephesians, New Testament book of Ephesians, chapter 4, that says that we are not, those that are in the light are not to be partakers of the hidden works of darkness, but we are rather to expose them. In other words, those of us that are conservative, that have a conservative ideology, we are in the light. We have a responsibility to expose far leftist communist ideologies. That is the devil. That is satanic. That is demonic. When we see this type of stuff, and us as conservatives, we have a responsibility to expose these type of things. We shouldn't sit back idly and allow these things to happen. That case that Anthony Brown Logan wrote an article on is one of many cases in the past that was concerning transgenders who use that as an excuse to attack women. And it was said, when this law, I believe, and correct me in the comment box if I'm wrong, this law was made legal, or rather was made easier, if you will, or this idea was made easier, if you will, when Obama in his second term began to push for the equality of transgenders, I think in 2012 or 2014, one of them years. This is during his second term. He began to go all out trying to push to bring equality to transgenders. He spent a lot of his time trying to bring equality to transgenders. Equality, I think it had to do with the restrooms, transgender restrooms. He began to push for that under his administration, and now look at where we are. Now, you're not going to get me to believe that that wasn't planned. That is sick. That is sick when you can use something like that, in my opinion, when you can use that as an excuse to attack innocent people, like I said, innocent girls and boys. Like I said earlier, it's your choice what you want to do. It's your choice what you want to be. I don't care. But when you use that to hurt others, that's wrong. No matter what anybody say, that's wrong. And that's what I'm exposing. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay. But like I said earlier, this is all planned, and we have a I believe that we have a responsibility to expose the plan so that more people are aware of what's going on. And so I'm going to read something to you guys. I'm going to read a quote. Some of you may have heard of a man in the 1950s. There was a man that was an FBI agent, and he wrote a book called The Naked Communist. And he was an intensive researcher of the communist infiltration of our country. He wrote a book called The Naked Communist. And in that book, he wrote 45 goals that the communist insurgents had initiated for this country. And one of those goals, I want to read you one of those goals. And I think I read this in a previous video some months ago, but I'm going to read this one goal here. And I don't want you to think about how prophetic this one goal is. In his book, goal number 26 says this: present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as, quote, normal, natural, and healthy. Once again, present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as, quote, normal, natural, and healthy. That's goal number 26 in his book, The Naked Communist. Now, you may say, how is that prophetic? When you have communist insurgents and communist sympathizers making movies, sitcoms, when you have them in politics, in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, creating laws that are designed to make this type of lifestyle normal, then you know that it's a slow progress to destroy and demoralize the country. What we saw, the goal that I just read you was back in the 1950s. What do we see happening today? We see these kind of lifestyles in movies, sitcoms, commercials, and other areas as what? Normal. The purpose is to destroy the moral fabric of the people, to confuse them so that it is hard for them to make moral choices. And when it's hard for you to make moral choices, then it will be harder for you to resist the communist push to destroy this country and rebuild it again into a communist global government. That's the goal that I believe that they're trying to accomplish. I want to read you one more quote from another communist sympathizer. It's another communist sympathizer. And like I said, you can go in the description box and you can look this up yourself. And this is goal 12 of this communist sympathizer. His goal says, homosexuality is morally acceptable, and homosexual rape, get this now, homosexual rape of lower class males and boys is a right of rulers, guardians, and war heroes. Let me read that again. Homosexuality is morally acceptable, and homosexual rape of lower class males and boys is a right of rulers, guardians, and war heroes. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Same situation. What are you seeing there? A plan. You see a plan. See, the devil is in the plans. The devil is a deceiver. He's in the plans. He doesn't come out and say, I'm the devil. He doesn't come out with pitchfork and horn and say, I'm the devil. And I see these people in positions of power as forms of the devil. The devil is using them, if you will. Not trying to be religious, but the devil is using them, if you will, as a way to destroy this country and rebuild it. And I see these people are, in a way, the face of the adversary. Like I said, the devil doesn't come out and say, I'm the devil. He hides through stealth and deception. He gets you through making you believe that something that's wrong and evil as good and acceptable. First, you got to normalize it, get people to accept it on a subconscious level. And then when you get them to accept it on a subconscious level, then it will be less resistance against the communist push that they're putting for this country. That's the goal. But we have a responsibility, man. We have a responsibility. So I just wanted to read you guys that article from Anthony Brown Logan. If you guys have any comments about this, please let your comments be made known in the comment section. What do you think about this article that I've read to you? What do you think about the two quotes that I just read to you? Do you think that that's made up? Do you think that's actually happening today? Do you think it's normal? It's been accepted as normal now? Degeneracy is being accepted as normal now? Do you believe in that, or you believe it's just a conspiracy theory, or what? What do you believe? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe to this video. God bless you all, and see you again on RCB News.